people upset with the federal government, and all of these reports that are coming out. Some of them are strategic reports in that they're identifying true threats. For example, one that came out of Missouri was about a rally happening. It was a bunch of skinheads that came out for a rally, you know. But the strategic report was basically talking about things that had allowed violence to break out in the past. The rest of those reports were not about specific events, specific situations. They were about a political ideology. And so when you see strategic reports coming out about an entire mindset, an entire political ideology, you can tell that they, for whatever reason, are afraid of that ideology. And if they're afraid of all ideologies that are questioning and speaking out against a central federal government, basically a godlike state that knows everything and controls everything and who we have to ask permission for everything, you know, that's what they want to maintain. So if you call that nefarious, then yes. And if you consider the fact that we're in such a state of unrest, and that, you know, any Tea Party protester, in the Fed protester, we are change activists,
check.
Considered, you know, potential threats to law enforcement. You know, Oklahoma, for example, they told me they did receive a copy of that MIAC report on the modern militia movement. But when I asked if they received the retraction, they were all like, so, you know, that information's out there. It got sent to other states. You cannot really retract that information. So it's been sent to other states.
Once you've been told that you need to profile these potential threats to your life, you know, and then somebody sends a notice and they're like, oh, by the way, just kidding.
Yep.
Not a threat to your life.
And even though it was retracted in Missouri, and I assume it went out to Missouri law enforcement that had been retracted, long story short, I found a dog on the side of the road, and I found the dog's home, but I had left my car with my flashers on the side of the highway, and when I came back, there was a police officer, and he was looking in my car, you know, and I'm like, hey, I'm behind you. It was dark, my flashers were on my car, and he's like, oh, thank God I saw the Ron Paul bumper stickers, and the car was abandoned, and I'm just like, really? So that really does get into the psyche of law enforcement.
A bomb of liberty. Of truth.
I think people are waking up, and I think we will. I think they're going to be defeated personally.
They will.
Their little police takeover is not going to work.
It's not, because thankfully the internet has brought people together in a way that, you know, nothing else has before, ever. You know, you want to talk about the Oracle, like we're talking about Matrix or something, you want to talk about the Oracle, you've got the internet, you know, Google, you want the answer to anything, you want the answer to life, you go to Google, right? You search right there, but that's also brought us solutions to all of our problems. That's communication and networking and getting to know each other and working together across state lines. And that's what I love about this project with Operation Defuse, because we're working with Texans for Accountable Government. You know, I'm from Missouri, Liberty Restoration Project. We're working with We Are Change groups in Arizona, in Oklahoma, in San Antonio. So there's just all these different groups, and we're all coming together, and we're saying, we in Freedom's Phoenix, OK Safe, those are basically the only groups so far that have really gotten involved. But we're coming together from different states, and we're saying we see a big problem, and we all want to fight it, but we're going to fight it in our own states, in our own manner, because decentralization, that's what really gives power, you know? And I think it's beautiful. I mean, there's nothing they can do to stop us now. They let us have the internet. They didn't stop it before it got into our hands. Now they're going to try and cut it off. Doesn't matter. We've already found each other face to face. It's done. It's over. We win. That's it. I love it.
What are some practical things like an average person can do to help stop these fusion centers or to educate other people about it?
Two things I would say. One, go visit the Fusion Center. Humanize, harmonize with the director of the Fusion Center. I know the director of the Missouri Information Analysis Center. If an order comes down saying all those crazy Ron Paul people need to be rounded up, he's going to say, you know, I've met Catherine, and she's not a bad girl, and she's not out to get me. Why should I go get her? You know, John Bush knows the director of the Austin Regional Intelligence Center, and you know, the director's even met John's mom. You know, so that gives you some protection. It also helps wake them up a little bit, and it will help protect the rest of your community. But file an open records request. Find out who your Fusion Center is sharing information with, where they're sharing it, what type of information, if they're writing strategic reports, if they are, where those reports are going. But I would say the open records process and face-to-face interaction are the two most important things you can do. If you visit operationdefuse.com, you can get hooked up with people all over the country who are concerned with fusion centers, and there's some really innovative things happening in all the different areas, so that'd be a good place to go to brainstorm and to get to know some people.
Do you fear any reprisal for being so open about this? or has there been any reprisal, or do you feel like putting yourself out there is a way of protecting yourself because your name and your image is out there? So if you disappeared, it'd be, you know, kind of obvious.
I feel both. I think first of all, the fact that this is such a public thing that we're doing, we're documenting everything, we're videotaping everything, we're tweeting about it, we're audio recording, we're doing the radio shows. People know that we're not doing anything bad. You know, our entire plan is out there. We're not hiding anything. It's all out in the open. They can't accuse us of doing anything that we're not because it's all wide open. But on the same token, you know, you've got the Georgia Fusion Center saying that, yeah, we looked you guys up and we're not very happy with you, and because they are fusion centers, that means that they're going to be communicating with other fusion centers. So yeah, that does become kind of concerning.